Hey everyone, Unskippable Cutscene here, and I've got a good one for you today. In this video, I'll be guiding you through the Zen Daijun hidden adventure within the open world Seitung Province zone. Currently, Jade Runestones are going for anywhere from 30 to 50 silver on the trading post, so this activity is quite lucrative depending on how many of these runestones you can find in chests along the way, as well as the guaranteed drops from the 3 magnificent chests at the very end. So let's dive right into it. First of all, this is a combat-focused adventure with some pretty significant challenges. If you're going solo, I strongly recommend a very tanky ranged build with lots of sustain. To start, head to the Spirit Vestibule on the northeast side of the Zen Daijun region within Seitung Province. Head down under the miasma and into the maze. You'll notice that you continually lose health while exploring the maze, so if you need to top off your health, find one of these lanterns.
Infuriating.
There will also be something called Grasping Darkness. These will be telegraphed circles that appear pretty much right in front of you as you're walking. You'll need to dodge these or else you're going to get stunned for 3 seconds. Dodging enough of these will also give you an achievement, so kind of double reason to do it. The minimap is pretty useless down here, so I've made a map of the maze and put it on the right side of the screen here with the locations of the bosses and the lanterns noted. You can see my location with the little unskip a blue star. You can use the roof lines on the map of the Zen Daijun temple to help orient yourself when you're comparing your location to mine while you're exploring. So here you can see I just found the red shrine, so now I'm going to go fight the red boss. The main objective of the maze is to find all 3 colored shrines, which will each give you a buff, that allows you to then defeat a champion with that same color. The structure of the maze is always the same, and the bosses are always in the same locations with the same colors, but the shrines themselves will actually be in random locations for each map shard. While you're exploring the maze, you can have all 3 color buffs on you at the same time, but you can also choose to fight each boss as soon as you get that color, so it's up to you. Okay, so first boss I'm fighting here is going to be the ritualist, who has the red buff. As with all champions, it's got high health, hits pretty hard, and every 25% health lost, the Ritualist is going to summon speakers that do an AoE attack. Now, this is largely telegraphed, but a limited number of these speakers will have a safe zone under them. So, when it appears, make sure you're in that safe zone. At each progressive health threshold, more speakers will spawn, but the mechanic stays the same.
Quite a reward. Rocket punch.
Once the boss is down, grab the chest in the room and start retracing your steps to get back on the main path. If you're finding this information helpful and well-made, please do drop it a like and feel free to subscribe for more useful End of Dragons content.
Infuriating.
As we move from lantern to lantern, we'll be keeping an eye out not only for chests, but also the colored spirit shrines that we need to activate in order to fight each boss. To reiterate, the locations of the shrines that are in my map are probably going to be different for you since they change based on the map shard that you're actually in.
Infuriating.
Now, one generous thing ArenaNet did here is they made it so that these champion bosses do not regenerate when they're out of combat. So, if you do die, you can come back and continue the fight where you left off. While you don't have to go find that colored shrine again, which is good news, The bad news is that there aren't any waypoints nearby, so you kind of have to go a little ways away and then run your way back over here. And you also do have to traverse the maze again to get back to that boss. So for this reason, I'd recommend bringing your revive orbs that you probably have stashed on an alt. I actually died on this next boss and just popped a revive orb, which was super convenient. So leading in, this second boss here I'm fighting is the illusionist, who has the blue buff. Fighting this boss in melee is a total nightmare, so definitely use your ranged option. Keep your distance if you can. At each 25% health increment, the illusionist will cause the room to fill with randomly placed telegraphed circles that cause high damage when they finish casting. She does this a couple of times in a row before the fight goes back to normal. Position yourself to avoid all the circles and just keep damaging the boss. After the fight, grab the chest in the room and move on. So I had mentioned that you need to restart the maze if you die, but you can also kind of cheat a little bit. If you look at that mastery point, it's right on the edge of a waterfall, and you can actually fly straight into that waterfall if you have a griffin or a sky scale, and you can actually restart the maze from the very bottom there. You've also probably noticed these lightning strikes that keep happening. That's from my mechanist trait, and it's actually my mech targeting these completely invisible grasping darknesses, so just ignore that.
Infuriating! Not enough endurance! Accelerate! The energy.
The last boss I'm fighting is the Berserker, who has the green buff. As you'd expect from a Greatsword Warrior, the boss's melee damage output is extremely high, and if you get caught in a whirlwind attack against a wall, you're probably toast. Keep your distance if possible. Each 25% health threshold will cause the Berserker to use their special ability, which is a leap attack that then results in a telegraphed concentric shockwave. Honestly, it doesn't really even do that much damage, and it just causes you to float for a second, so if you get hit by it, it's not really a big deal, but obviously avoid it if you can, just to speed things up. Once you've defeated the last of the bosses, you'll see a beam of light in the boss chamber, which will teleport you underneath Zen Daijun to the treasure room. Before you do that, though, don't forget to grab the chest in the boss arena before you interact with that beam of light. Here, you can claim your 3 magnificent chests, and teleport back to the spirit vestibule when you're done. While you can only fight the bosses once per day, the chests along the maze are actually not instance-specific, so if you get the hang of this maze, you can just log in, run through, grab all the chests that you can find, and it's a really easy way to make some quick money if you've got a few minutes to kill. Well, I hope you found this guide useful. If you did, please do drop it a like, and also subscribe for more End of Dragons tips. Now, get out there and go make that money.